Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for August 25th. August 25th is the 237th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 238th in leap years, with 128 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is stigma. Stigma is a noun with several meanings. Stigma can be a mark of shame or infamy, a birthmark or a scar, an identifying mark of a disease, the tip of the pistil of a flower where pollen is deposited, or a mark burned into the skin of a person. Interestingly, the plural form of stigma is stigmata. This comes to us from a Greek word that means tattoo mark, and before that from an Indo-European root word from which we also get the words ticket, etiquette, instinct, astigmatism, thistle, tiger, and stake. Interesting relationships, those words. Earliest documented use of the word stigma is 1596. And with that, we'll start today with the birthday of the Russian ruler known as Ivan the Terrible. He was born August 25th, 1530. Now, in current times, the word terrible typically means extremely or distressingly bad or serious, or causing or likely to cause terror, sinister. And I think Ivan the Terrible could certainly be thought of in all of those ways, but I think what they really meant by that was more along the lines of some of his other monikers, like Ivan the Formidable or Ivan the Fearsome. He was described as intelligent and devout, but also exhibited episodes of paranoia, rage, outbreaks of mental instability. As an example, in a fit of rage, Ivan the Terrible murdered his eldest son and that son's son. This left Ivan's younger son, Fyodor, as heir to the throne. Unfortunately, Fyodor wasn't much of a ruler. He wasn't interested in politics or civics or anything like that. His brother-in-law kind of ruled in his place. But Fyodor left no heir to continue the bloodline. That's a whole nother branch of the story, though. We're talking about Ivan today. Ivan the Terrible died of a stroke at the age of 53. Alrighty, next item. On August 25th, 1609, Galileo Galilei demonstrated his first telescope to Venetian lawmakers. This telescope likely had a magnification of about 8 or 9. And of course, Galileo himself used his telescopes to look at the sky, but he also made decent money selling telescopes to merchants who found them useful both at sea and as items of trade. Now, in this next item, the event that we refer to as the War of 1812 is so named because that's when it began, in 1812. It actually lasted about 2.5 years, from June of 1812 to February of 1815. That said, on August 25th, 1814, British troops torched the Library of Congress, United States Treasury, Department of War, and other public buildings. This is the birthday of Scottish-American detective and spy Alan Pinkerton, born August 25th, 1819. If that name seems familiar, you might have heard of the Pinkerton National Detective Agency, or Pinkerton Detectives, which he founded. Pinkerton saw the value of a centralized database of criminal identification records and was working on just such a database when he died in 1884. Interestingly, the database originally created and initiated by Alan Pinkerton is now maintained by the FBI. Alan Pinkerton lived to the age of 63. This is the birthday of actor Michael Rennie, born August 25th, 1909. Perhaps best known for his part as Klaatu in the science fiction film The Day the Earth Stood Still. He also appeared in more than 50 movies and several American television series. Michael Rennie lived to the age of 61. The United States National Park Service was created on August 25, 1916. The House on Un-American Activities Committee held the first ever televised congressional hearing on August 25, 1948. Voyager 2 made its closest approach to Saturn on August 25, 1981. 8 years later, on August 25, 1989, Voyager 2 made its closest approach to Neptune, which was the last planet in the solar system at the time, since Pluto's orbit was within Neptune's orbit from 1979 to 1999. Today's song is Ode to Billie Joe by Bobby Gentry, number 1 on August 25, 1967. Released just the month before, it begins the first of a 4-week run in that number 1 spot and was later chosen as the title track of her debut album. The song is a story told from the point of view of a girl who was connected to Billie Joe and portrays most effectively her family's indifference to Billie Joe's suicide. Haunting. In the intervening 55 years, fans and listeners have wondered what Billie Joe and the narrator threw off that bridge. Ode to Billie Joe by Bobby Gentry, number 1, August 25, 1967, link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that is called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.